because of the game.
Oh no,
it was
no,
by someone's trying to be nice, and I don't like it, but it's not nice to tell someone off for being nice.
They were like, hey Jess, you got it. No, not quite that bad, because that's your favorite.
Yeah, that is my favorite.
Hey Jess, don't worry. It's just a video game. You shouldn't care about it. Also, you should smile more.
That would be the worst. I would absolutely tell that person off. But no. Anytime I lose a game and people are like, "Oh no, it's still a great game," I actually just feel like, "Oh, I hate it." I'd rather than just to be like nothing or oh yeah, fuck that guy for 2 racks or something like that, right? But when people are like, "Oh, you still played a really good game," it just makes me want to go, "No, I didn't play a good game. My barracks was late, my SCVs were late, I should have built the bunker farther back." Like, what do you mean it's a fucking good game? It's not a fucking good game. What are you talking about? That's rude.
Can't BA in my chat says, "Hey Maynard, you might not be good at this game, but you're really pretty." Thank you, guy in the chat. Appreciate it.
ZombieGrub, the important thing is that you did play a good game because it was the best you were capable of. Like, you played as well as best, you could expect.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Look at this coffee dragon.
Oh no. Peter Dragon shows up, he's like, "Oh, I needed this. It's just the catharsis I get from making my friends feel like shit for a few minutes, and then I leave." Oh, good. Good times. Oh!
What's going on? Huh? Go ahead.
These fucking double standards of streamers. Don't be mean, but don't be nice to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually
exactly. Don't be too nice to me. Don't be too mean to me.
When you're dealing with that moment,
Goldilocks porridge moment. All right, figure it out.
Do you guys have the same thing where if you kick your toe, like you stub your toe, you know, it's one of the worst things. If someone goes, "Oh, are you okay?" It makes me really angry. In that moment, I like hate them. I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
Really?
And then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, "Oh, thank you for caring for me," but it's just, for some reason I have the same reaction as when someone's like, "Oh, it's okay," like with the ladder game. I don't know why I get really angry in that moment.
The stubbing toe thing I don't get, but I do absolutely get the I just had a bad game and I feel shit. And then someone's like, "Oh, it's all right, don't worry about it." And I get it, you know, they're just trying to make you feel better. It's coming from a good place. So, you know, I don't take it terribly, but I do take it pretty badly still. You know, I'll always be like, I don't want it, like I don't want your good feels.
Don't want it.
I don't want it. Let's just
it's actually
kill a new game and forget the game existed.
Yeah, I always reference when I had Nero on my podcast and he was talking about the exact same thing. And he's like, "No, you can't take away my pain."
Yeah, exactly. Don't take my pain away.
This is my loss. This is my sacred moment of self-hatred and reflection, and then hopefully motivating myself to get better.
That's why I like not team games, because wins are mine, but losses are mine as well. I want everything.
Yeah.
I want them to all be my fault / my you know, good work.
I mean, these all sound amazing, but I also will admit that I'm just a salty baby for the first 5 seconds after, you know, a loss.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've shouted at people the last few times they did that to me, actually. But like, it very quickly turns, like, there's like a second of actual anger, and then it's 15 to 20 seconds of making fun of myself, you know?
Yes.
Where it's like, I'm like, don't fucking tell me no. I lost. You try to be a nice person, and you know, like it dawns on me mid-sentence that I'm being a complete moron, and I'm just like, you're trying to be too nice, and I want to hate myself right now, and I'm gonna learn from this. I'm not gonna just discredit it as, "Oh, I played a good game," or I think it's worse when they're like, "Oh, well, he just did a stupid cheese," or they just did and it's like, no. They're like, "Oh, that thing's really ember," and I'm like, no, like I scouted it and I didn't build a bunker. Like, I'm an idiot. Like, come on. Don't take the blame away from me. It's 100% on my head.
Yeah, and whenever I'm angry, it wears off pretty quickly for me. Like, I don't stay mad for very long. Usually, unless I get like back-to-back TvTs, and I just never get happy again. But it's usually like within a few seconds, I'm like, all right, you know, shake that game off. Or like when I die in a Doom run and it's a good one, and I die from something bullshit, I'm like, oh, that sucks, but all right, let's try again. I only really have StarCraft and Doom to reference, and I don't really do anything else.
Yeah, right. I don't usually get mad at other games. The only other game I've ever gotten really mad at is Kirby's Canvas Curse. Like, I don't know what
wow, that is a reference. My God.
It's the only one I've ever raged at that it wasn't like a competitive game. It was so raging.
Thank you, streamer. I have been upset at Fortnite when I played it with Wife Nard a while back because I'm like, oh, you shoot one bullet and then they build Nakatomi Plaza and I guess I'm fucked. Like, I guess guns don't matter in this game. I guess you can just use 999 wood to build a ladder to touch God. Like, fucking stupid game. Fucking Fortnite. My God. That game made me angry. She's like, I don't want to play this game with you anymore. I'm like, good.
I still think it's like such a smart idea, that game, though. They're just like, we're making Minecraft! Minecraft, PUBG are having a baby.
Yes, people love Minecraft, people like VR. It's like they hit the sweet spot, successful for a reason.
Like,
But I just hate that guns don't matter. Like, I'm like, in a VR, I want accuracy and skill to matter, and they're just like, no, the skill here is not being able to shoot straight. The skill here is being able to build fast. Oh, I don't want that
isn't
skill.
the like bullet patterns super random and stuff in it? So it's like purposefully really random.
I think so, but the version of it now, right now I'm still playing it on console, there is a bunch of more like accurate guns and also a scoped assault rifle that's like a lot more accurate. So they're trying, but the thing is, even if you're accurate, they're just going to build a giant wall in front of you, and it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
This is one hell of a bust.
Well, his Raven was chasing me.
Yeah. Chase me, silly Raven. It's the jailbait Raven.
SCV ready. Defer that landing. Go, go, go.
Yeah, it's Fork Knife. Blag, I'm dead too. I've been playing Fall Guys as well. Actually, that's another game that I've been playing with on the couch on the PlayStation. I have it on PC, but I've only really played it once with you guys with ZG and Fear Dragon.
I've got it now, so actually I should install it.
It's actually I find it kind of fun, like which I didn't expect because normally that's not my kind of thing, but I found it fun.
I kind of like games like that where they're cute and they're great, but they're definitely, if you think about the value of purchasing a game, like everyone's gonna play it for 6 months, and then I think it's gonna like have very few people playing it.
But it's like a $20 game, so I didn't care. Like, it's fine.
But it's kind of funny how there's these like viral games now. It's like, you know, like the Goose game and stuff, where it's like everyone's like, oh my god, you're a goose, and you're like, yeah, no one's gonna be playing this in 6 months. Everyone will play it in that 6 months, but after that, no one will go back and play that game.
You guys remember Goat Simulator? That was the biggest game in the world for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like YouTube bait. It's like, we're making this game purely for YouTubers.
Did they ever finish making Who's Your Daddy, the game where you got to stop the baby killing itself? Like sticking forks in electrical sockets?
Yep, they made that.
Okay. Because that was very fun. I remember playing the beta of that, and it was...
By the way, chat, you were asking, have I seen the Dune trailer? I have seen the Dune trailer, and I am moist and half chub about it. I'm very excited for a good director with a good musical, with a great director, a great composer, and a pretty good selection of actors.
Are they
make
trying
that movie
to
good.
do a specific book or anything, or the first one?
Yep.
So are they planning to kind of probably do a full series like Lord of the Rings or something with it?
I think, from what I understand, not 100% on this, someone in chat will be able to correct me. I think they're making 3 movies for book 1, so it could potentially be like a Avengers tier number of movies.
That'd be cool. Give it the love it deserves.
What I really wanted was for Dune to be like a really high budget Netflix series, because I felt like it was too much content for movies. But yeah, no, I mean, Daniel Villeneuve is fucking amazing. I've loved everything he's done.
What's he done?
He's done Arrival, Blade Runner sequel, Sicario.
Oh, okay, right.
He's like really good at like aesthetics and feeling stuff from like that sort of thing.
He likes to me, like things real dark and mysterious.
Yeah, but like with really good musical scoring as well. Like he's very good at that, and Hans Zimmer is doing the score for the new Dune. So it's like, it's basically perfect. Like everything on paper seems perfect. If the movie sucked, I'd be very surprised. It's like too many good people involved for it to suck.
I really need to download Sicario and rewatch it because this always comes up. But I thought it was an okay movie and not that great, and everyone loves it. And everyone goes on about how good it is, and I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't have watched that on a plane like 20 hours into a transit. You know, maybe some of it, the details were lost on me. Like, you know, like sometimes you just think a movie's really average, but sometimes it is the fact that you're watching it on a 6-inch screen on a plane 20 hours into a series of 4 flights. I
actually had that where like I'm a massive Blade Runner fan, and for some reason the first time I watched the new Blade Runner was actually on a plane.
Yes, no, me too. And I was like, I'm not doing this justice, 100%. I could tell I was not doing it justice by watching it on a plane.
Like everything about that movie, like the aesthetics, the visuals, the sound, all needs to be appreciated at full capacity. And I'm like, nothing on a plane is giving me this. This is basically like my visual quality is also what my food quality. Like this single serving fucking chicken thing with soggy beans and like powdered mashed potato.
Yeah. Did you watch Tenet yet?
No, I haven't seen Tenet yet. No.
I went and watched it last week.
I hear it's from what I'm hearing, apparently it's the coming of movie Jesus. From like the way people are gushing about it. So I don't know if it's like hyperbole or if it's actually good. I don't know.
I don't think it's great. I think it's okay. I think it was like a fun movie, but I think the action scenes are a bit too hard to follow, and it's very hard to hear what they're saying. I'd love to watch it with subtitles.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Nolan stuff's very visual as well, right?
Yeah, I mean it's cool, and it's got some feels to it. I also found Elizabeth Debicki's in it, and she basically had the exact same role and storyline to her role in The Night Manager, which it kind of felt a bit deja vu-ish. I don't know if anyone watched the Night Manager.
I did, yeah.
Was a TV series they did of obviously that's a novel by what's his face, the guy who does all the conspiracy and CIA novels, Constant Gardener and everything like that. Forget his name.
I forget too.
Yeah, which was a great John Le Carre. Yeah, that's it. It was kind of weird that she had kind of the same role as in that, and then the movie, maybe it made a lot of sense and my brain is too small, but I think especially with the garbled dialogue, it was a little bit hard to follow some things, and even when you could, it felt a bit messy story-wise. Like, you know where Inception, if you think about it too much, doesn't really make sense?
Yeah.
Well, I think this was like that, but like even less sense. And like, I think Inception, the action scenes were a bit easier to follow and cooler, whereas the action here was kind of funky, but it kind of just hurt my brain to watch a little bit. So maybe my brain's a bit too small. I'm not sure. I would definitely recommend everyone go see it because it was a new experience, and it left me going like, whoa, and it kind of kept me on the edge of my seat, and I was trying to like put things together and anticipate what was going to happen next. So it definitely is a ride, and I would recommend people see it. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I think I enjoyed Inception more.
Okay. So it's a pretty original movie then? Like a pretty original concept?
Yeah.
I treasure that over certain things, just originality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
it didn't feel like the same bland Captain America 37 where he fights a fucking
But I also like
witch
Captain America 37, and I will come and watch Captain America 38. I like my Marvel. My Marvel is when my brain goes to sleep and I just enjoy the pretty pictures. I'm more than happy to do that.
I mean, I'll watch them as well, and I enjoy them, but it's not like I'm looking at it as high art or anything like that, you know?
No. So you were just talking about subtitles. Does anyone else in the Backseat call watch with subtitles?
Sometimes, like I'm watching Ozark at the moment, and whenever the hillbilly gangster guy is speaking, we turn subtitles on. We're like, ooh, what's he saying this time?
I watch everything with subtitles. Like if something doesn't have subtitles, I get kind of triggered. I don't know why. I just want to have it.
It's nice. It's nice to see exactly what they're saying. Sometimes I feel it does distract a bit from the visual and the audio, so if stuff's really clear, I do prefer without it. But if there's anything lost because of no subtitles, then I'll turn them on.
I have had a couple movies recently where I've watched it and like the subtitle's clearly wrong. I'm like, that's not what you said. Like just a single wrong word or something. It's not so bad.
I'm actually Spasm says Expanse first season. My favorite show of all time needs subtitles in the first season. Maybe I should go. I'm gonna go back and watch it at some point.
I think it's easier to retain people's names and stuff and names of like this Expanse is very like immersive. And you get more out of it when you remember things like the places they're talking about, the factions, and subtitles. I think they'll help you retain that. That was such a good fight, CG. Get him!
Oh my god. Yeah, I do love the Expanse, and they did such a good job of converting it to TV as well. Where like I'm near the end of the 3rd book right now, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is like so similar. Like yeah, they changed a few things, especially as it goes on, and because there's like a lot of extra characters that find their way into the books where you don't want to waste your time in a TV show introducing characters for not that long and stuff. Like, and they want to kind of keep it centered around a smaller base of characters, but they kept it so overwhelmingly true to the books in the ways that matter. So it's actually really well done.
I think the first time I ever experienced that was like because I loved Hobbit and Lord of the Rings when I was a kid, and then when those movies came out, so I read the books like dozens of times, and when the movie came out and it opened in the Shire, I was like, this is exactly how I pictured it in my mind.
But they didn't have the Wood Elf Captain Galahad singing in the forest.
Oh, they didn't have Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil, that's his name.
The whole book. Good. Thank you. Justin. You did good, I think. When people unironically get upset about Tom Bombadil being cut from Lord of the Rings, I'm like,
the funniest thing ever. I'm like, those were the pages I skipped.
It's the worst part of the book.
As a kid, I was like, there's only so much music I can read, man. Oh, like, just verse upon verse. But, yeah, no, they did a good job with that as well. They were pretty good. I do think The Hobbit, I did not like those movies at all. Lord of the Rings was great.
I rewatched all 3 of the Hobbit movies recently with wife and I because I've never seen them. Like, I never saw the Hobbit movies. I think I just, like, half-watched something, maybe on a plane again. But we watched them together recently. And I got pretty good TV, pretty good sound system, and for some reason, all of that combined, I'm like, that was fun. I watched those 3 movies and I'm like, that was fun. I feel like my life hasn't been lessened by spending time to watch these movies. I don't feel like it was time wasted. It was alright.
I felt it just got a bit silly and the action was like kind of reminded me of Transformers. No, not even, that's a bad analogy. It just felt like there was no danger of anything bad happening. And I remember like reading them as like a kid and rereading it again as a teenager, and it felt like there were, Bilbo was kind of scared shitless the whole time, was going through this wild ride, and then you watch the movie and I felt like I always talk about the first movie where they're in the Goblin Caves, and then it just turns into like a side-scrolling platformer with like it's like Super Meat Boy, just watching these dwarves like bounce around on these levels as they're running, and they're just rolling down levels for like 15 minutes, and I was like, what are we doing? And then they're like surfing on molten gold and riding barrels in the river and bouncing. There were so many scenes where the action just got comically ridiculous, where I was like, wait, what's happening right now? Like, and I just felt like the points where it could have been a bit more intense and dark were done silly, and then there was like an extra hour and a half of filler in each movie, like where there was just extra stuff they added and things that didn't need to be there, Yeah,
it was a bit much. True, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, they're not the worst thing ever.
I'm super down with what CG's doing here. I think and I hope that this is a Ghost Nuke transition. Oh, you just making barracks? Alright.
This is some Ragnar the Red shit right here. This is a load of items. Alright. Tanky time, BCs. Good job. Oh,
Got him. It's a dead-ass mech Terran right there.
ZombieGrub, crush
Fucking
kill.
mech Terran!
He was a barcode. Get out of here. Oh my god, perfect.
Fucking Terrans. hey.
GG! Well played, ZG.
Try hard.
So we go Piggy one more time.